Complexity taking on Mousesports. We got that little JKS versus Dexter bout. And I cannot wait to get into this one. Already, you know, we're moving into Mirage, the pistol round underway, and there's a lot of questions here. I think this is a very, very hard one to predict, right? You can see the GG.bet odds there, leaning this one in favor of Cole, and I imagine it's that line of thinking similar to the analysts, right? These guys are a team, they are this five, and Mousesports are going through changes, but right now, over in the apartments, it's all kinds of chaos, and ultimately looking like it's going to favor Cole. JKS on those entries, he's not messing around. He's opened up B. Now he's set Cole up potentially to find this pistol.
Double market retake as well, no question about it. Cole just cleaned it up, and what a start as well. That looked good for Mouse. They actually botched the boost. They were trying to throw a player on the balcony. Instead, Acor just jumps up. We know he's got really slick movement, this guy, and he gets an opener, but Cole just run wild. JKS decking Dexter, and I think that's a cool talking point as well, right? When you look at like having imports, well, not just, you know, NA and EU mix now. We've got Aussies on both sides of the coin here. We got Dexter and we got JKS. So I'm kind of excited to see how these two fare up against each other. Obviously, you know, Dexter being that latest addition, he's got a lot of work to do. Maybe not so much in the fragging department, but we've seen that domestically. For Cole just going about their business. Second round, and to force for Mousesports, blame dunking Acor down lower. Only Deagles here for Mousesports, and they're already peeling away from this B bomb site. They've made the right read. Cole grouping towards A with a bomb. Throwing util towards B might keep Dexter here, questioning things. But for the most part, Mousesports are in the right place at the right time. Can they hit the right shots, though, up against these Galils?
Little quiet now as just this set piece comes in, but Robs is Deagle. Gonna be there to put up the first. BMAS as well, holding alongside him. Now, there's no flashes to enable these kind of free peaks for BMAS. Instead, we're relying on him winning those gunfights outright, and that doesn't happen. They lose these A-side defenders, but Frozen through the smoke. All right, bud. All right, got anything else left in the tank? Oh, bomb plant denied, and now down to a 1v2. It shouldn't have gotten this close. Frozen dealt with one through the smoke. Now the rest of them out in the open, and Frozen is in with a double. Left in the 1v1, it's Rush, other side. Molly goes in, and Frozen, he might wish he was made out of ice there, because he's melted down by that Molly. Cole, they get that second, the 1v1, just about going their way. But a damn good try from those Mouse Deagles.
Very, very big shots as well. And yeah, it got scary, right? Frozen kills the planter through the smoke, right? Maybe he has a bit of a gap. No, not even. Just a good lineup. And then Cole try and plant on the other side of triple, only into another Deagle. That's a really nice try, though, on the force buy. And Mousesports might even be tempted to go back in for an investment, but knowing you got your gun round in just one, fully, or not fully eco, but some pistols, some armor, and saving it for the next. Group towards B. It's a good round to do so for Cole. We have a Zeus on Dexter. He's waiting for a jump out of the window, and he certainly might get it here. There are Mac 10s in play. He's blinded, though. Oh, they don't see him, and he misses his shot as well. Rush runs right by, and it's going to be Cole finding an easy round here. That was the only chance, really, for things to get out of shape for Cole. And now Robs really could just save. It's only a Galil, though. Trio start for Cole on their map pick.
Robs might not even get away with the Galil. You know, it's not the end of the world. He's buying up next round anyway, but you'd love the extra utility.
Armor as well. He was the one dude who brought armor into this round.
Yeah. So a good few freebies if he is able to stay alive. And Cole, they're not really pushing the boat out too much, so he is going to get away for the time being. But we have this good start for Complexity, winning the pistol, holding on in that second, anti-force buy when we had the Deagles in for Mouse, and then that one there a hell of a lot cleaner. So a bit of money made. I'm curious if we just see them run the bonus round here, right? With still 3 SMGs in play, and AK on Blame F. And now the rest of the gang are that much better off as a result. So yeah, this is actually a really nice time to run the bonus. Like, Robs isn't reinvesting in full armor. Acor, doesn't have head armor with the AWP, and Frozen doesn't have any either. So these SMGs coming into this first buy round, you expect that Mouse might sacrifice that head armor, and now you're going to try and rush them down with a fast A play, but it hasn't worked yet. Config will get one, despite being blind, but he can't get the follow-up. Acor's already pushed through that smoke at bench, and Frozen's holding down the fort. It's all onto Poison, and he's caught with nades in hand. It's a nice idea from Cole, right? You understand that Mousesports, they're going to opt for the utility. They're going to opt for the kits, that extra 350 going into the helmet. They don't bother investing that. And so you try and rush them down with the SMGs, hoping that just being fast, getting up in their faces is going to be enough. Doesn't work, though, but you are still in with a buy if you're Cole.
Yeah, and due to how fast that is as well, they don't really get any of the util they want, right? They don't get a molly on the bulk, they don't get a molly on bench, and both of those positions punish them as a result. So, you know, it's not something you're going to see in a full gun round. I think he might have blocked the window smoke with that cat jump. Robs is up, and Acor now has vision as well. That's incredible. Not on purpose, but you certainly take that if you're Mousesports. Robs, this is old school Mouse. We used to see Sunny do this so much. Just sit in the short smoke, wait for the fade, and then just pounce. No one's ready for him to be so deep, but he does get traded. Config, good reaction. Bomb is loose, but if he can get out away from the AWP, he can pick it back up. AWP takes a shot and Config repositions, as will Acor. The molly under Cole are pushed back from middle, and they just go, fine, we've traded 1 for 1. We know there's a weakness. We know Mousesports can't cover everything right now, and so let's group and take a site. The site in question is B. Only Dexter here, but a full battle util. If he does get a spot off, he can drop a molly, but right now playing very safe. Is that going to come back to punish him? They do have the mollies to clear car.
Ooh. Acor's taking the long rotate round to CT. Mousesports, they don't have the read on this, so it's Frozen having to hold on to this B site up against all the complexity. And right now, he's not even breaking a sweat. Now the rotations have come through. Frozen with those critical 2 frags, and that is all he's good for, but he bought time for Acor to move around, and the two of them playing in tandem keep that round belonging to Mouse.
Yeah, it's sad for Dexter as well. We were wondering what would happen, him hidden on the car. He throws a smoke and apps, and as it blooms, he jumps up, but Cole, they know they wanted to B-rush, and they didn't want to wait another 15 seconds. It would have been too predictable, so someone just goes straight, I think it was Rush, goes straight through the smoke, and Dex is caught jumping on top of the car. Either way, it's not a worry. Frozen Acor, 2 apiece, locking it down and finding a second one before Mouse puts Cole on Deagles.
It's really weird seeing Dexter versus JKS in Mousesports and complexity, right? Like a few years ago, this could have been like an IEM Sydney, like Renegades versus Greyhound or something like that. But
it was kind of funny thinking yesterday as well, like when Mousesports played their opening BO1 v Renegades, I was thinking one of my big worries for Dexter was like, you know, we know how good he is an in-game leader. We know he can frag domestically, but how will that fragging translate to Europe? And he comes to Europe, and the first team he plays is his old team. And like he started very poor. Like he was like 2 kills at the half. He did recover, but I was kind of finding that a bit awkward. As is this round, a gun picked up by Poison and putting it to good use.
Oh, but Frozen, man, he's having one of these games where he just takes charge. 3 in the round to lock it in and save the day. You know, it was only pistols, but it was very, very quickly getting out of hand, as those rounds often do, right? The first few kills come in, and suddenly it all kind of starts to fall apart for the CT side. You get in your head a bit, right, and start thinking, you know, it's only pistols, shouldn't be throwing this away. Maybe give them a little too much respect and complexity. Playing like they've got nothing to lose are a pretty terrifying team to go up against in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, well, they've had, you know, losses all last year long, right? Thinking more so just about the fact that they haven't had Poison in the team. It's so nice to see him back in. Great hop for Robs, and he takes Poison right out of the round. That's beautiful for Robs. Just bunny hopping through Palace. Gets there before Cole are even in position. They're walking through the apartments, and now they're trying to split this A site. Config has gained good ground, but Rops has his eyes on the prize, and that nade does further damage. The Rops can finish the job of VMAS tucked in at the sandwich. Not looking to make a meal out of this one, though. He cleans up Rush, and Rops helps out with the third. This AWP is taking all of our attention away. Forget Acor. Rops with the second AWP. And pushing Cole down yet another round. No kills in this one for the T side. We saw a bit of Rops AWPing near the end of Woxic's tenure, right? What was that last event that we covered? Oh, I shouldn't have even thrown that question out there. We did a lot last year, didn't we? But was it Cologne? I think it was Cologne. And we saw
that
was right before Wox left.
Yeah,
and I remember there was a game where he just didn't even take the AWP, and Rops just took it every round over him, and we were like, yeah, this guy, like this is changing clearly. But it's nice to see Rops wield this weapon. We know he can do anything, and he's a guy that we look to today to put up a big fight.
Oh, that's a meaty nade. And man, these AWPs really are just scary. You know, everywhere you go, you're running into one of these AWPs. Poison's like, nah, mate, get rid of that. Get it out of the game. That's where Rops emerges with the USP. Oh, no, with nothing, but they get them both. All right, they did it. That's fine. BMAS retrieving the other one, going to drop that over to Acor. I do love the ticket position right in a round like that. It does just feel so great. You know, you think you've got the AWP off the angle, you think you don't have to worry anymore, but then there's another one waiting as you move up through connector. It's not just window that Cole had to worry about. Poison's finally got his hands on his own AWP. It is very relieving to see Poison back in the server, right? After a year of just constant stand-ins for Cole. It always felt so horrible. Oh, hang on a second. There was a bit of aggression there. BlameF was ready and waiting for it. I haven't really seen Mousesports try and push the boat out too much early on in terms of this aggression. Really the most kind of in-the-face of Cole they've been getting is like these window peaks. So Acor tries to vary it up a bit there with the lower tunnels push. However, that has handed over this man advantage.
Yeah, the worry there is if you're Cole and you're late to mid, you're always making that call out of spawn. We're late mid, care under, and so someone's going to be looking. And considering the amount of mid control that Mousesports have had in the open window and Rops jumping cat, while Cole are patient in getting into middle. So Blame is very aware of the possibility of a player down lower. You know, if you have a good spawn as a CT and you drop, but the Ts are still rushing, it can be easy to discount underpass. Not today, though. Cole a man up. What will they do with it?
Well, they really seem to like the idea of these con splits into the A-bomb site. Rops missing the timing. They're already out through con, and he doesn't have this information for the rest of the gang. BMAS, while he's able to adjust, is now trapped back here in CT, getting spammed out. Frozen is the unknown entity, the man that they know nothing about. He's been biding his time here in the back of the site, and now he can tear this round apart. There's the double, and suddenly Mousesports are back in with a fighting chance. JKS in the apartments, and Poison gonna silence Frozen, leaves it all on Dexter. A trial by fire as he goes toe-to-toe with JKS and Poison. Lots of damage, but not quite the killing blow. There it is, and now just old mate JKS, Justin Savage, left to face up in Palace, the rightful king on the throne of Aussie Counter-Strike, and Dexter looking to dethrone him. I'll retrieve the kit, trying to get on this bomber. JKS just playing it perfectly. Waits the peak. JKS doesn't give it to him right away. He waits. He already had that round locked in. And so JKS keeps himself in pole position and puts a fourth on the board for complexity.
Well, that's a 1v1 where Aussie Counter-Strike always wins, and that's got to feel a little bit good, right? 5-4, Cole right back in with a round, and yeah, the timing was everything on Rops' peak, right? He is cut off from connector by that top con smoke. The Cole just runs through, and he makes the call too late that they're up in the A site. Not Dexter, CT players get overwhelmed, and BMAS gets trapped out of the round as well, so nice try for Frozen. If he stops the bomb there, maybe that's a round for Mousesports, but just a second too late on the spray. Tries to get 2 for 1. Well, Dexter making a move. He's already lost a teammate, but that's a great shot. Finding Poison. Bomb now on the ground in middle. He's going to get mollied in ladder, trying to push him into rush, but flashing himself out, dropping into the window and remaining alive for the time being. There are Molotovs to get him out of position. They're going to set up for what looks like a boost. Config jumping. Dexter wins the fight, and dropping a molly will keep Rush out of this one as well. No revenge frag for Cole. Dexter is just being a nuisance.
And look at Acor back in the lower tunnels again. Oh, there it is. Back down with the flick and rushes out of the round. You got to care for the Goblin tunnels, because that there is where Acor is just roaming around, having a great time, taking your loot, and then running for the hills. JKS has snuck out through the ramp while all this combat's been going down in middle. BlameF, he's just battening down the hatches. He's just waiting here. Frozen in with the peak, spots him, and that's at least information. Frozen doesn't want to throw away this man advantage. And so he's going to bow out for the time being. BMAS once again back here in CT. Right now, Cole, they don't have a lot to go off of, right? They've seen Frozen in window. They know that A-Core ages ago was down in those lower tunnels, but he could be anywhere by now. He could even be wrapping T-spawn. So Cole are very, very paranoid as they move into A. And with this double swing ready to come through, that's the bomb plant denied. The follow-up for BMAS. And he just never gives up the aim of the game. You know, the last time he was CT, he was very, very keen on peeking stairs, peeking con, holding that angle. And that round, he's like, well, they've got to come to me. They don't have a lot of time left. They want to get this bomb down, and I'm not going to let them.
Yeah, I can't think they have the plant covered just because of that, right? Just because of the fact that, well, I mean, we can't clear left ticket, but if they were there, they would have peaked by now, surely. Well, no. The patience pays off for BMAS. And Mousesports with another round. And good reset for Frozen, right? The 3-on-2, not peeking a window on a re-peek and maybe dying to blame F. He just groups with his teammate and denies any chance of Cole actually winning that round with the double peek into CT. The Molotov got to stay or go, got to move somewhere between the fire and flames. Cole are going to commit, but only 2 men make it through, and they won't make it far. Config, crucial trade, drops in by the car. Already rotations through the market. How does A-Core hit that shot? He won't last long. Frozen now up for a big task. A lot of players on his plate. Pistol out. He can't stay long. And now it's a 2v2 with guns on the ground and smokes keeping Mousesports out.
Oh, but they go through on the reload. Flame's gone, deleted, and now JKS follows up as well.
Unlucky.
Robs with the double. You don't want that, bud. Get it out of there.
Yeah, Frozen actually switched to his pistol, right, in the Apps fight, and so that's because his AK was out of ammo. Blame picks up the gun, auto reloads, boom. Perfect time to push through the smoke for Robs. That's very unlucky stuff.
Man, Frozen's got that 666 going on in the KAD. Obviously, it's 16-6-6, but it doesn't have the same ring to it. He's got that mark of the devil going on in this game, man. He really is looking on fire. It's always scary when Frozen's looking this good, because you've already got a bunch of capable fraggers in this team, and then, you know, you factor in someone who's clearly feeling it, who's been so good at these multi-kill rounds. And here he is again, opening up this one. You know, you can't get the better of him. Every time they've tried, he's been there, put up numbers. Config trying to sneak through connector. Doesn't fare much better.
Frozen also naded the orb into ladder. Insult to injury. Cole can't even pick it back up and try their hand at it. And now back to just this desperate B play that really has not worked out. Like, they've gotten past Dexter, but no one else. They've got no further. Dexter is not offering up the kill this time. Nice little slither of an angle, playing safe, waiting for them to actually commit here. Is he going to have nerves, or is he going to move? They drop in. Spray is good for one, and he does enough damage that Frozen can find the bomb on the ground. JKS 1-on-4, and no kill being offered up. Good patience by Frozen. Knows that JKS isn't going to be able to stick a bomb plant anytime soon. Tries to catch A-Core on a rotate, but ready for all sorts of angles is A-Core. And yeah, I mean, we've already seen Rops' orb in this game, but A-Core, of course, nailing them right now. A quick timeout for Cole, as they do have a bit of a money situation going on. From players from 3 to 5,000, you could justify a buy, but it won't be beautiful. More likely going to be pistol armor, maybe even a hero gun in a round like this. Blame's gone in hard. Players like Rush and Poison and Config will struggle.
Yeah, it's a little ugly, isn't it, Hugo, that buy? Coming into round 13 with Galil's in play, pretty limited in terms of, you know, the firepower here. You got the utility, at least. You could throw in some, like, big fake if you wanted to. You can long this round out.
If they let you.
Oh, look, Frozen's trying to get stuck in. Moves into the ladder room. He takes responsibility over mid. Dexter, it feels like Cole are really trying to exploit him over at this B bomb site, right? Frozen is here, though, and is helping out his new IGL. Only good for one this time around, though. And they've also, well, I mean, they've lost this B bomb site. So the rotate's coming in, a 3-on-3. Cole with the bomb down, and this is one of the best chances we've really seen them in the last few rounds. Blame F even holding for the apartment's flank from Rops. And right now, it's just silence. Everyone's pretty worried here for Mouse. They don't really know where Cole can be. It's not like the rotates came in time to get any information. And now that they've lost Rops, it might just be the save. You know, you've still got money to buy. Even if you went for this, you could look at it as a buy. Losing the AWP, bit of a...
Yeah,
bit of an error there in a sense, right?
Look who he's lost it to as well. Poison's going for it. Poison's got his eyes on the prize. US is trying to deny. The bomb probably blew it out of the way. Oh, there it is. Run, 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 run. He's got it. And yeah, Blame F. I mean, you know, that's a retake where you've got to get the first kill if you're Miles, if you want to make it happen. Blame almost discounts Rops because of his flank being so far, right? He pushes A to come in through spawn. And as Rops is clearing kitchen in the apartments, Blame sees his barrel and doubles back. You know, look away and then turn around and finish the job. And yeah, that's what wins the round single-handedly in the post plant. But nice B play, yeah, definitely looking like they're exploiting Dexter, and they're doing a very good job of it. He's rarely getting more than one on these holds. Nice start for Poison as well. Finishes Acor off in the connector, and Frozen is very low. So a man that we've relied on is going to be out for the count in this round. He's already left B, as has Dexter. And well, where to Cole have in mind, it's of course that B site.
Oh, blindsided from short, and that's because Frozen had to fall all the way back as a result of that cat jump and taking so much damage. In all but one of these Mousesports round, Frozen has put up multi-kills, and so that's pretty telling, right? I think the moment you knock him down to 10 HP, you either needed someone else to step up, and the fact that Acor falls shortly thereafter, it felt like that was always going to be a complexity round going off the numbers. And 5 alive at that, so a very, very good one for Cole. Like a key point in this game, you know, you don't have your money put back into it. I mean, it wouldn't be that bad, actually. No, they're fine, and they still have some loss bonus banked up. But still, now you've got everything you possibly need looking to round out this half, and a 7 to 8 half is more than possible. Because to coincide with you building up money, you've broken Mousesports'.
Yes, big streaking of rounds for Mousesports, but Cole have done a very good job at weathering the storm and you know, not winning the half, but doing at least their due diligence. 7-round T-side Mirage, going to be happy with that one. We got config on an auto sniper. Now, I wonder if that will stay. It's not exactly Dust 2. Can't spam down those doors, but maybe he'll run out mid for it. He's already dropped it, so I think it was a misbuy or a troll buy. Let's hope the Rops doesn't flank spawn and pick it up. Could come back to bite you, but no worry. We have seen that happen in a Dust 2 game where, you know, T's bought autos in OT and they left them in spawn. And then I think it was a G2 game and their opponents pushed B, go through T spawn, pick them up, and then won the round with it on a retake on A. So, you know, that is a reality. Probably not the one we're in right now. Acor doesn't want to die again, but Poison isn't giving him the fight in mid. Holding for under timing, and there is Blame F there. He's been in this position many a round. Next is repositioned to not fight towards a car and offer up a B pick, playing a little more passive at the back of the site. Aids thrown from config for Blame. Oh, very close. Acor gets out alive though, blinded. And Dex is spotting towards the apartment. He's going to have a molly ready to throw towards under window. Oh, that's going right in fact. Cole getting crunched. The short split is good, and Dexter has a lot to do.
Yeah, not a lot to get it done with either. Just trying to stay alive, buying time for this player in the market in Acor to get posted up with that AWP. They can't find him yet, but his little tiptoes just might give it away. Still don't know, but that spam should give up the aim of the game. How is Dexter still alive? Oh, there we go. They finally find him, and it is left on to BMAS. That nade could chunk JKS out, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. Thanks to the short plant, BMAS hasn't really had much of a chance here. Complexity haven't played into that A-bomb site all too much. And now they tasked him with a 1v3 retake to round out the half. And with that first peek, spots Poison, tagged by the AWP. Ooh. And there it is, 7 to 8 Complexity. They dust themselves off, they pull it back together. And now we're split right down the middle, moving into this second half of play. Cole taking on Mousesports, resuming in just a moment.
So let's see how Mousesports fare up against Cole to remain on this first map of the series. Still Cole favored on those GG bet odds. Now they've got to show us why. Ooh, Rob's caught out middle, going for a spot. Rest of his team set towards B, but look who's there. 3 members of Complexity with an HE or 2 ready for the apartments.
That's going to be rough if you go running into them. These AGs could do all the damage needed right away. And there it is. Everyone's lit red, but Acor, the man to open, doesn't care about your nades. He's going to try and run you down regardless. Blame F at the bench. Oh. And that there is a lock-in. Complexity with the triple B setup. Everyone's having a good time there. You can see it down in the player cams. They're happy, right? You get a read like that. You anticipate the B play. You get the nades in. And now you tie the game up at 8-8.
Yeah, you got to wonder, like, how Dexter's handling the pressure, how he's feeling coming into a team like this, you know, having to lead, a roster of star-studded players, of very accomplished players as well on the international stage. It's definitely a nice challenge. Right there, read like a book on the B play, and Deagle's out in the second round. We got Poison scoped up, not with the scout, but a little more automatic as the first. Mousesports, I mean, they can wait on ramp, right? They got 200 players to come through the connector, but already Cole are leading in the right place. Robs did sneak his way out. I'm sure they're aware of the possibility. JKS has his eyes on it. Boost being watched. Oh, not for long. Blame has to fill that void, and he has come through. The rotate will be heard as well, so that might even bait Frozen into pushing into the window, but Blame gives up a lot of space, and Rob's trying to get this pick out ramp. Oh, it's so terrifyingly close. But with his team not up con yet, he's in no hurry.
That's going to leave you a little sour, man. I thought Robs was going to get that. Like, the way he was lining it up, I was like, oh, he's got the angle. Oh, the timing there for Blame's not great. He gets sandwiched, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Doesn't matter, because everyone else is here to mop up the round. And it's all left onto Frozen again. Any more Deagle heroics? No, it's only the one. So Complexity onto 9. And yeah, you talk about Dexter, right? I think an interesting move to like compare it to could be like a Golden to Fnatic, right? Like, you're bringing in someone to like lead a group of stars. I think Dexter's definitely had like more experience in terms of his overall IGL, but not with this caliber of players. I think the difference there though is like Golden joining Fnatic. He's someone who had these legends of the game with a lot of experience to like help ease him into it, right? Whereas you kind of look at this and it's like Dexter's coming into here. You know, you've got players who are stars and who have accomplished a lot, but you've also got a lot of like young bloods, as it were, right? Yeah. You got guys like BMAS, you got guys, even Frozen, right? Even though he accomplished a lot with this Mousesports squad, in terms of time spent on the world stages, it's not very high whatsoever. It's one where, like, you know, you kind of look at like Rops as the most experienced guy here, and you know, I think that in and of itself must be kind of challenging. You know, you don't have guys like I don't know, like your Flushes, your JWs, you know, there to like chime in and give you words of advice and help ease you into it.
Yeah, but that's something we've talked about with the Mousesports roster back with Karrigan, right? In terms of Rops having impact in the calling, maybe, you know, I'm saying that quite loose, but like, you know, being able to help out Karrigan or call in the mid round or offer his insight, and that's certainly something that was on the tail end of Karrigan and Mousesports. So I imagine it's going to be happening here, and obviously Rob's more familiar with his teammates than Dexter is, so that's going to be nice as well. Right now, Cole running the show, double AWP on this CT side and push past this one in the apartments. It's in SMG in the hands of Rush. And this looks like a B play for Mousesports as well, so this could be a real problem if they're baited in. Deep smoke for config. Mousesports may never check Rush. I mean, Kasaba's even saying on the desk, right, talking about Aussies, some people he's very familiar with, not even knowing the calls, right? Every region has their own type of calls, and obviously Europe and Oceanic ones are going to differ. So that could be something that Dexter's even got to worry about. Definitely worth keeping in mind. Communication is key.
Imagine in Rob's being like, where is Diggity? I just don't understand. Like, I don't even know what you're referring to here.
They're up a man, though. They caught Rush on a flank under, and they're going to use that to set into this B bomb site. Config moving in with the orb. Blame's already on the angle, so Config can cross it to the site, but he's not needed because Blame's doing the work. Config finds a shot, and that B split gets locked down. Even though Cole had no one in the bomb site, they were more than ready to defend. JKS trying to rotate out, and Rops does have him trapped. Ollie's available, but he's just looking to take the fight. He knows he's not going to get killed on a cross with the players watching the bomb on B, but he can't win his fight out. And Cole find another round with 4 alive. Money is building, rounds are building, and confidence is building. Complexity all over this one.
And I mean, this is where, you know, like Cole's decision to bully that B bomb site a lot is starting to really show some value, right? Not only were you undoubtedly making Dexter feel uncomfortable, but coming into this second half, your players that you've had over towards mid and A haven't really had like the best opportunity to warm up and get a feeling into this game, you know. And I think that's why right now, like you look at this scoreboard, well, BMAS, what was he doing? He was sat CT a lot of the time. He had that one round where he gets the double to like lock it in. That's really like his most memorable moment so far. Rops as well hasn't really been able to accomplish much when he was in that CT side. Acor was like having to go and look for kills. That's how desperate he was getting. The only guys who were seeing anyone in that first half consistently were Frozen and Dexter. And, you know, Frozen, he was like answering the call, but pressuring Dexter, smart move to make. You know, you're trying to put pressure on him. You're trying to make him focus on himself as opposed to what the team are doing, right? And he's now thinking, well, I need to step it up because I'm sat down here 6 and 15. And so it's like this double-sided effect, right? It's looking good for Cole. A great decision to have made, and now coming into this second half, it's very, very slow to begin for Mousesports. They were 8-4 up at one point in time. And now the tables have turned dramatically.
Yeah, someone's flipping furniture, all right. Config holding a very tight angle. They jump over his orb, and they will be ready for that. Oh, Acor! The Glock burst, and he's got himself his hands on an AWP. That is stylish. This guy. Smooth move up into the ladder. Ramp push with a flash. JKS peers in. Rops will hear that, and so he turns back. Only a re-smoke. God, I want to jump the gun. They are down a man. I like how tight they're playing. They're not giving anything. They know this AWP is available in middle, and no one is giving away a pick. Acor is going to be hard-pressed to find anything. It's Rops who goes through the ramp smoke, and info is key. So Cole try and grab some on the B side. They see the AWP, and it just runs right away. They go to where they found that earlier pick. Good shot for Poison, but he needs so much more. There's a second. BMAS through the smoke with a bomb down now, and Cole, 3-on-3, they've recovered well.
I thought Poison was about to Chris J Mousesports. Oh, he still could. He's in with a third. There's Rush as well, dealing with Dexter, and it is all left onto Frozen again. Now, his Deagle has always made these 1v2s, 1vx's feel like they're close, feel like they're closer than maybe they are, but this time around, that CT player blindsides him, and now the pressure's on, right? Nothing's really been made available to Frozen there. And Complexity, they act quickly to not even give him a window to close that round out. It was just the Deagles, though, and you still get it down to the Y. You know, you still get it down to a 1v2. Forcing a lot of reinvestment out of Complexity.
And now this is it for Mousesports, right? They need to come in with a big buy. They need to come in with a successful round, or Cole will just run away with this game. Window smoke blocked. Rops did it in the first half. Now it's done by Config, and he's going to get the shot off on the jump as well. Poison helps out. Double AWP in mid is a middle finger to the Mousesports side, who lose 2 players with nothing. BMAS and Dexter out of the round. And, like, this is... you know, not unwinnable, but Cole have to make some glaring mistakes to give away a round like this. Mousesports group towards A, where there are 3 players sat. No one in the site, but that's going to change. JKS creeps, crawls, and sets up on default, with the AWP supporting as well. all he needs is a one and done, but you can imagine maybe more will come from it. Poison peeks out maybe a bit too early, and now JKS is really all on him. Robs is ready. He's died from JKS under Balk before. He knows about the chance of this position, but ooh, Frozen's lurked himself inside a B. Can they bail? Robs is committed, but Acor goes back and grabs the bomb. Frozen's seen 2 players leave, but he dies, and now everything falls into limbo. They lose Robs on A. The bomb's trapped, rotating to a site they no longer have, and everything falls apart. I mean, inherently, it was a 3-on-5. It wasn't a realistic round, but the fact that they forced so much rotate out B, if Frozen nails 1 kill there, Mousesports have a really good chance of winning that round. So, NT, but Acor, this should be already said and done. I like the idea there for Mousesports. It's like a really good mid-round call, making the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, it's horrible, right? It went from feeling like everything was about to go right to suddenly everything going wrong in the blink of an eye. You know, it's like, oh, they've rotated off B. Frozen's calling, man, I've caught a timing. Like, and Rops is deep within the site, but maybe he's thinking, you know, I can get a couple of players as they peek. I can sell this fake. And then you lose both players within a second of one another. And as you say, that bomb was just rotating back through T-spawn. Acor's like, well, I went from having A to now having nowhere, so this is great.
I love how mobile the AWPs are for Cole, right? Last round we saw double AWP in mid with Config making the cat jump. This time he's boosted B quick, posted apartments, Poison, back of CT spawn. You never know where they're going to be if you're Mousesports, right? They change every round. They give up mid now. Window smoke comes in. Who cares? Cole don't. They're not watching it. They say you want mid, you can have it. We're padded back on the bomb sites. Robs with a scout. Has to hit the headshot or he's dead. And there it is. Beautiful.
I didn't think he would.
No.
I didn't think that was coming in.
Config, head in his hands after that one. And I don't blame you, bud.
Yeah, there's no getting back up after that one, man. Config's out the round. It's only 1 man down here for Cole, and they're not breaking a sweat just yet. Mid control taken by Mousesports. Wes is looking to end up. I imagine it's going to be this A site, right, with the late lurk in from Acor. Only armed with the Glock, so at best you've got like a roaming decoy, really. Now that's what you're hoping he can do, is like draw the attention away from the players that are actually dangerous.
Whoa, what?
Ooh, Dexter getting cheeky with it.
A nade.
The nade might finish the job, although that bomb not quite down in time. Perfect timing for JKS, and Poison reclaiming kills from CT. They deny the bomb plant again. JKS is not letting you have it. And so it's fallen to Frozen and his Deagle. No more heroics from that. 14 on the board for Cole and 4 in the round for JKS.
Nowhere is safe. Nowhere at all. Not one plant spot they could have gone for in that round. Even though Dexter hits that incredible deeg shot to Catwalk. They dunk him, they take him out, they spam the next player from the plant too. And yeah, I mean, in the first half, it looked like Mousesports like individually looked very good. I was worried about Cole being warmed up, but there's no question about it now. The Cole boys are looking very crispy indeed. 14-8, double AWP. Why not? Ooh. Config lives to tell the tale. Mousesports are trying to pop Palace with Dexter flashing high above it. This double under Balk. This is a death sentence.
Yeah, really, you know, even one of these Molotovs would be horrific to flush out this under setup. But the Molotovs never come in. All that utility that Mousesports have, not a single bit of it outside of the flashbang is throwing. That's an ugly looking round for Mousesports to give away. And it's giving away 15 as well. I don't know, man, I understand wanting to try something different and like go fast, you know, keep it simple, stupid. Like you throw the flash over, you maybe get out. But man, if you fully invested in utility on everyone, like you may as well throw some of it.
Yeah, and I got to say, Frozen, not like it's his fault they're in this position, but he has not really had any kills in this T side at all. I think that was his first, or one of. So it's been pretty quiet, but it's been pretty quiet for everyone on Mousesports in this T side. So not really anything to look back and rely on and go, hey, that worked. Yet to field around Cole. This was what you said, 8-4 at one point in favor of Mousesports in that first half. Well, that's now 11 in a row for Cole. That is delightful.
I'm really happy that we're getting a good showing out of Poison as well. Like, you know, talk about it, you know, like you come back, you've been gone for a little bit. Cole have always looked wounded with standings, and they've always insisted that, you know, it's going to be worth the wait. It's going to be worth waiting for Poison. And I mean, man, he's showing that right now, you know. No one's even really been able to touch him on the other side.
Yeah, look at that blue. Woo!
And, you know, I think just pound for pound, the double AWP on Cole has been much more threatening than the double AWP we got out of Mousesports.
Much more mobile.
Yeah, always keeping you guessing.
Another opener for Poison. He's going to go back in for a little bit more, but Config has his cover for the trade. Never getting away with, you know, frags on Mousesports. They're always getting punished after the kill. Rush up close on Catwalk, deals with Dexter, 2 up for Mousesports. This might be their them meeting their bitter end on the first map of the series. Frozen trying to escape. He's at least got the bomb, but he's pinned in, trapped behind the boxes by 2 players in middle. Rush knows there's the Molotov. He's going to smoke it. Rush spams, but it's looking like a death sentence, Harry.
Yeah, it's looking dumb, man. And you know what a kind of sad reality for Mouse here on this map. You were 8-4 up. You were feeling so good, and that might be it in terms of your good feelings. Like that, those are the only rounds you've been able to get. Those 8. Frozen and Rops, last 2 left alive, and a damn near impossible 2v4 to find. They're waiting, hoping that Cole gives something away, but I think at this point, right, no matter how resilient you are, even you must realize that this is not looking likely.
Oh. 20 seconds, they got to go, they got to get a plant. It's only Rush at the B-bomb site. But Market Rotate already in for Blame F. 15 seconds, time is of the essence, and Mousesports need to go. There's a kill at least, but they haven't cleared Rush. They've got to do so now. Rops doesn't fully check it, and Rush gets one. The fake for the frag, but Frozen can't find it, and now they're out of the market. It's done, it's over. GG, Cole, find their first, find their map pick, and do it in style. 12 straight rounds in a row on that T and CT side. They don't drop around in the second half, and it's going to be Complexity finding the opener. What a game.